Okay. Before I begin, I'm gonna finish my crunchy backpack Pop-Tart. That's so smushed together, it might as well be a cake pop in Pop-Tart form. But I have thoughts. You know what, I'm gonna go ahead and spew stuff out while they're on my mind, and I will make a better video off of this one if this one's not salvageable into something to post. I've already had some advice on how to market myself better or get more views on videos or whatnot, from my mom. She's great, trying to be helpful, but like, I'm not trying to set a precedent that isn't realistic for myself or just like for what I can do. I cannot spend hours and hours of my time editing videos. I frankly don't have the attention span for it. Nor do I think that it's necessary if you're getting like good stuff in X amount of time, right? I have been told that I should wear shoes all the time on camera and that I should do shorter videos or like time-lapse the videos, especially the training videos where there's just like 20 or 30 minutes of stuff from a session. Let's hit on those two before we go any further, because the other stuff isn't coming to mind right now. First of all, sometimes I don't wear shoes on camera because they frankly just like overstimulate the shit out of me and make it hard for me to like exist. So I also have like a rub from my Crocs right there. Sorry, my feet are fucking nasty right now. I've been outside all day. I've got a freaking rub on one of my knuckle things, and so that makes it like really icky. It's just hard for me to wear shoes sometimes. I would rather be outside doing stuff and being like hyper aware of my body in space and time relative to the giant animals that I'm working with than wear shoes. Because if I was forcing myself to wear shoes, then I wouldn't be able to do this stuff, because I would just want to like pop my head off and chuck it across the field. So yeah, that's why I don't wear shoes in some of my videos. I don't care if you criticize me for not wearing shoes. I know it's dangerous to not wear shoes around horses. I do not encourage anybody else to not wear shoes around horses, especially if you are under the age of 18. If you are not a legal adult, God, please wear closed-toed shoes around horses. Do not be an idiot. I literally grew up wearing paddock boots and horse-safe shoes around these animals for like 14, 15 years at this point. Like, and I'm a legal adult, so if I'm injured because of my negligence to take care and protect myself, then like that's on me. If you are legally not an adult, please wear shoes. Make good choices. Spend that time where you have to wear shoes. If you don't want to wear shoes around horses, spend the time that you have to wear shoes around horses like becoming hyper aware of yourself and them and like their behavior and potential reactions, so that you can like parkour, duck dive out of the way if you have to, right? Drink some water. Okay, so on the long video topic, my videos are not going to be for everybody. If you don't have the attention span to watch my videos of like entire training sessions when you're trying to learn how to do training sessions on that topic with your horse, are you really gonna learn more from watching a time-lapse video where you can't like take note of any environmental factors going on, or like being able to watch the horse's expression in between things? Like, that's almost more important than the parts where you're like actually reinforcing them or like getting stuff done, right? I'm making videos not for people with no attention span. I'm making videos for people who are like barn rats, like I grew up being, you know, like I spent all day every day at the barn, just like, you know, doing my work, getting my little lesson if it was a day that we had lessons, and then every time somebody else was riding or training a horse, I was like watching. Even if I was like mucking stalls, I'd lean on the pitchfork a little bit and stare out the stall window and be like, what are they doing out there? You know? So I'm making videos for like barn rat type people who like actually want to learn stuff and soak up all sorts of information from all sorts of different people, no matter if that's like exactly the way they do it or whatever. Like, I think you can learn stuff from watching anybody do their work, and it's really hard for people like me to learn how to do stuff watching other people's work if it's not like a full realistic picture of how that work goes. And especially with horses, when you have another freaking alive individual involved in the process with emotions and, you know, their own perspective and stuff that they want to be doing, like, it's kind of important to be paying as much, if not more, attention to the horses in training sessions than it is to be paying attention to whatever the trainer's doing, right? I think one of the biggest gripes I have with the horse industry right now is that there are not nearly enough examples of non-traditional trainers, period. And I think part of the reason that traditional training has like nosedived so terribly, like since the dawn of internet era, is because people no longer go to the barn and watch people do entire sessions with horses. They no longer go to the barn and watch people do entire sessions with horses week after week after week and watch how slowly and incrementally things progress into like actual skills. Since the dawn of the internet and people filming videos of their horse training, like, I think the fact that people have so little attention span because of the internet, it's we're just like shooting ourselves in the foot, because you cannot possibly realistically show what it's like to train a horse in like a 10-minute highlight reel of their entire like progression of learning a skill or a behavior or whatever. Like, if I took all of the sessions that I've ever done with quiz on target training or trailer loading or whatever and just like chop, sped it up, highlight reeled the shit out of it, like, cool. At that point, I'm just showing off that I can train my horse. I'm not actually providing you, the viewer, with any useful information to go and help yourself and your own horses with. So, I'm not trying to like show off or anything. I just want to make videos for people who want to learn. Because if I had the ability to, like, there's not enough examples of tradition of non. Blah. Let me rewind. guy back here also just got on his tractor, so that distracted me. As I was saying, because there are so few realistic, accessible examples of non-traditional horse training, especially in the age of the internet and highlight reels and 3 times speed watching stuff and whatnot, like, I think it is extraordinarily important that people who are training horses non-traditionally or using any sort of like alternative, fear-free, force-free, positive, like whatever it is, if it's not like forceful and fear-inducing, like, y'all be showing people what you're doing. You know, it took me so many years to, you know, pluck up the courage to put myself out there, but, you know, even if I don't know as much as the next person or have only half a clue what I'm doing, like, the stuff that I'm doing can be helpful to somebody. It's the barn rat mentality, right? Like, I don't care whose lesson it is I'm watching. It could be somebody who's like sat on a horse 3 times before. I'm gonna watch their lesson and I'm probably gonna learn something, you know? So I am not really interested in chopping my content up to be more palatable for people with not great attention spans. I'm making content for barn rats like me who do not have access to like actual realistic examples of what it's like to train and work with horses in a non-traditional way. Because I think the horse world is really severely lacking in examples. It's a whole lot of bad. There's a whole lot of bad being showcased out there, and so many people are doing things well. So many people are just being at peace and being like one with their horses. They're just on the same page. So many people are just on the same page with their horse and doing things right, no matter what method or technique or operant conditioning they're using. Like, so many people are doing it right, and there are not nearly enough accessible examples of people doing it right like that for other people to learn from. It's been so hard for me to teach myself all of this stuff, watching, you know, clips and vlogs and highlight reels of other people doing stuff. I'll like see a 30-second snippet of somebody working on a behavior, and then I'm like, math girl me, I'm like, okay, what do I have to do? How do I have to put things together and string things together to like make that work? How do I slice that down? How do I make that work for my situation without an arena? Like, you know, there just needs to be more examples of people problem solving with their horses and learning as they go, and not, and it's not that people that like speed their videos up or do highlight reels or whatever, it's not like they're doing bad. Like, that stuff is still good. People need to be like hooked on it somehow, right? I probably wouldn't have started watching 20 or so minute videos of training, but the person that I've been for the past few years absolutely would have loved to be able to see longer format videos of like in real time training sessions, like, and spaced out reasonably too. I mean, like, I started working on Quiz's trailer stuff in March. We did one session like probably mid-March, and then I did another trailer session with her beginning of April. Didn't touch it at all in May. Did a short little session with her at the trailer yesterday, and now the video of her doing trailer stuff in this garb, that one's from today, and like, that's literally 4 trailer sessions. She went from not wanting to approach it to like maybe putting a foot on the very first like 2 inches of the ramp, and today she went ahead and blew me away, putting all 4 feet of hers on or in the trailer. 4 sessions, like spread out over months. This is not a quick thing that I'm doing. I'm not drilling it every day. I could be practicing it a lot more, but I do have depression and do have 15 horses to take care of on this farm, and do have to mow the grass, and do have to fix the fence lines, and you know, people get busy. It's not realistic for some people to be, you know, working on a specific thing with their horse every single day for like 2 weeks straight to then have a perfect behavior. Like, that's just not how it works. That's not how it works for most people. For most people, they're gonna be working on a thing and then taking a break and then coming back to it. And people don't know how to work with their horses like that because nobody shows them how to do it. It's all these people who are out here like professionally training 24/7, working with the horses every day, and that's great. But horses are really great at latent learning. Not enough people take advantage of that, and it definitely would help a lot of horse people not burn themselves out if they didn't drill so much, both for themselves and their horses. But yeah, I just want to be like a realistic example. You know, I know my example is not going to be realistic for everybody, and like that's not the point. I'm not a monolith of all horse people, but my perspective, my experience, my economy's being silly. My voice in the game is, you know, just as important as anybody else's, and can be like just as valuable as anybody else's. So I'm just gonna I literally just plan on being me and being a goofball and training horses and living my life, and I don't care. Sorry, Mom. I don't really care if anybody complains about my videos being long or chaotic or goofy or dangerous because I'm not wearing shoes. Like, I'm autistic. I'm mentally ill in a billion different ways. That's hyperbole. Just a few extra spicy ways. And I really like my horses. I really like my life, except for when I don't. And I don't like my life when people are telling me what to do or how to do it better in a way that's not actually helping me with the things I'm trying to get done. So like, yeah, telling me to make shorter videos isn't gonna help me have a good time, because then I have to spend hours editing my videos. And that's gonna make me wanna toss my head across the field so much worse, so much more than having to wear shoes when my feet feel like exploding out of them. So yeah. I'm just gonna film shit that I do and hope that it is of use to somebody, anybody. Don't want to start crying on camera, but emotions are healthy. Still don't want to cry on camera. I want to make the kind of videos, the kind of content that younger me could have really used. I want to make the kind of stuff that I wish I had access to a decade ago. You know, and I want to make it as interactive and comprehensible. Is that a word? Comprehensible? Comprehension. I want them to be understandable. And so like, if anyone has any questions ever about what I'm doing, or I just jumped over a topic that I said I was going to explain because I have ADHD, and I just leapt 3 steps down the line without showing my work to get points marked off in math class, because I literally have never been able to show my work. I just like see a problem and arrive at the conclusion. That did not go well for me in math class when they were like, actually, we are doing proofs. We need to see the whole way through. And I'm like, but I can't. So if I ever skip anything and something needs clarification, just drop it in the comments, shout at me, and be like, hey, you talked about this in this other video and then never came back to it. Please explain. I will do my best to explain. I just need some reminding sometimes. But yeah, I hope that helps to set some expectations. I don't want people to be like expecting fireworks and professional editing and a dang microphone or anything from me. Like, I would be perfectly happy being one of those like professors that just like for fun in their free time make videos for YouTube with their little whiteboard, and they're just like scrolling about their topic of interest for the day, and they have like 4 views, and their videos are like an hour long, and they're so boring to look at, but they're just like so chock full of like that's the kind of video maker I would like to be. I want to be one of those like brainy professors with that twinkle in their eye, talking about their favorite subject and just like not giving a flying fuck about how they're presenting it. They're just trying to like share. So yeah, I hope that sets some expectations for anybody who was trying to figure out what the hell's going on here. Guess I should probably introduce myself. I'm Nat. I'm 25. I'm a Scorpio. It's okay, you can hate me. Sometimes I hate me too. Most of the time I don't though. So, if you hate me, I have plenty of love for myself to go around. If you hate me for being a Scorpio though, like that, you can hate me for a billion reasons. Why would you hate me for that? What else? I've been, shoot, have I been getting my math wrong? 12 to 25. No, that's about 13 years. I've been working with horses for about 13 years. I've been obsessed with horses and wanting to be around them for much longer. I couldn't even tell you when that started. Like, the Barbie ponies and My Little Ponies and wooden block horses that I made in the shop with my dad while he was like building furniture and stuff. Like, I've been obsessed with horses forever. I used to there was this teacher in the library in my elementary school who was like, have you ever been on a horse? Because I was just jabbering on about him. I was like, no. She was like, well, how do you know how to ride then? Because I was saying that I knew how to ride. And I was like, I just know. Maybe in another life, but I had not yet learned how to ride. To be fair though, that little me who was arguing that I did know how to ride when I really didn't probably was a better rider than I was like 5 years ago when I was showing. That's some tea. What else is fun facts about me? Icebreakers. This is such a weird video, so impromptu, and I'm bad at talking in front of a camera. This is probably going to be the most edited video you ever see from me. And you should be thankful for that. There's a lot of weird shit that I've got out of this. Yeah. I'm not 25. Been around horses for 13 years. Yeah, that's over half my life at this point. Not bad. My family moved to this farm when I was 14. And the very first animal that we ever got was Flame, the donkey, the star of that little consent video. He was found wandering. He was a little street urchin. He was wandering, and somebody at the church we were going to found him and was like, hey, we found this intact donkey just like meandering. We got mares. He's in our round pen. Do you want him? And we were just like, sure. So we got a donkey. He showed up cross-tied to their flatbed trailer. Thank God they only live like 5 miles down the road. That donkey is a saint. So yeah, we've had Flame since I was like 14. As of today, he should be anywhere between the ages of 16 and 25, basically. I don't know. I need to learn how to age donkeys a little better. My lopers. He goes cantering to the back so slowly, like a chunky, drafty pony. Precious. Where's this ginger girl? Why was he up here by himself? Was he with Baz? Interesting. This is why I like watching horses just like wandering around. Their social interactions are so interesting. And anybody who talks about herd hierarchy in a dominatory type of way has literally never sat down in a field and watched horses that have enough resources available to them. Because they switch things up on you all the time for no apparent reason. And it's really cute. Sometimes there is an apparent reason, like Conway chasing Baz off of Jonesy. And, you know. Yeah, so another counterpoint to Mom complaining about the long video. I'm a fucking nobody on YouTube. I'm a fucking nobody in the horse world. My 24-minute long video about consent that I did with a donkey already has like 900 views, which is absolutely absurd. None of my other videos have any more than like 20. And so I don't know if that's because it's a longer video that it has more views, or because consent is such... Something as simple as consent is so novel in the horse world. That's probably it. It probably doesn't have more views because it's a longer video. It probably has more views because consent is like a novel idea to horse people, which is appalling and so sad. But either way, Mom, my 24-minute video has approximately 880 more views than any of my other videos so far. So I guess I'm gonna keep making videos how I want to make them. So yeah, I guess other than that, if you live in Tennessee and know how to file for an LLC, hit me up, because the internet is losing me. I need to talk to a person who has done it. If you're in Middle Tennessee and you have horses that are looking for a place to retire, you're looking for a retirement boarding spot, also hit me up. Need to get an LLC before I get clients and retirement folks and whatnot, but retirement folks, this is not a nursing home. If anybody in Middle Tennessee knows how to file an LLC, or if anybody in Middle Tennessee is looking for a retirement board, hit me up, because as soon as I get some fences properly buttoned up, gates put in, as soon as I get my dang mower fixed and back at it, I think we're gonna be cooking with gas. and ready to go here, so yeah. I also love to do training for people who are aligned with the way I would like to do things. I ain't gonna do any like 60-day training or whatever though, so if you want to train a horse with me, you better be willing to take it at your horse's pace. We ain't rushing stuff. Most important thing that I do here is let these horses be horses and live their lives and take care of them and make sure that their needs are met and that they are thriving in every way I can imaginally help them to thrive. So, and surprisingly, 99.9% of that has nothing to do with training them. Ooh, that's a little too risky to say on the internet. For the few people that might see this that know who I've worked with, nah. Let's just say, here at Elixir Equestrian, hello, Baz. Zero tolerance policy on racism, homophobia, transphobia, xenophobia, and anyway, what else? Generally, don't be a bigot. Yeah, that's it. I don't have a lot of rules, but I don't like to keep assholes around. It does not spark joy with me. Basilton, you have put yourself in that little round pen thing. You can put yourself out of it. Do you want to come here and say hi? Basil! Hey. He's distracted looking for Jonesy. Baz, I think they all went out back. They're not up here anymore. They're on the backfield. Did you not see them all make off back there? They went back there like 20 minutes ago, man. Okay. Well, that's enough rambling, ranting. This is Elixir Equestrian. If you're vibing here, great. Stick around. If anything that I said in this video upsets you or offends your delicate little disposition somehow, kindly piss off. That's all. Love you. Oh. I'm gonna pour it straight in my mouth. My hand's too dirty. Oh, God. Fuck me. Oh. I'm sorry. Why do I keep talking?